Breaking news, George Kambosos turns down Devin Haney's initial offer and now is choosing to fight Ryan Garcia after each one of them has a tune-up fight. According to reports, there's a new dancing partner for George Kambosos, as George Kambosos is in heavy negotiations with Ryan Garcia, a fighter that's mentally ill, coming off a hand injury and a layoff. To make matters worse, a fighter that's only known for pulling out, clout chasing, and being social media undisputed champion, where he is the most active fighter online, just not in the ring. He defended his title on Twitter, just not in the ring. Matter of fact, he never won a title in the ring. He petitioned not to fight the champion Devin Haney when he was Devin Haney mandatory. And today, George Kambosos is looking to pull out of the Devin Haney undisputed fight. The fight that is for all of the glory, all of the belts, all of the money, history, and legacy in the world, in order to fight Ryan Garcia instead to become the undisputed social media champion. For less money, no legacy, or any belts, nor history. Unbelievable. With this move, if George Kambosos pull this off, then he is officially known as Duck Bosos. It's no longer Kambosos. It's officially Duck Bosos from this point forward. So without wasting any time, let's get all of the facts on the table on how exactly the Devin Haney versus George Kambosos negotiations went. According to my sources, where I know for a fact everything is true, because it don't get more reliable than this source. This is the most credible source, put it that way. It ain't no secret, Kambosos and Haney team have been negotiating for a while, where Eddie Hearn sent George Kambosos an offer. Eddie Hearn presented an offer on the table for George Kambosos' promoter to look at Lou DiBella. It was a very lucrative offer. I have already made a video on that. Now, when it was time for Eddie to get Kambosos' team approval in order to get all of the financial guarantees, so on and so forth, to write a contract, then send it over to Kambosos so he can sign it, what ended up happening, Kambosos' team killed the deal behind closed doors. Meaning when Eddie Hearn went to the Australian government in order to get the deal done, Team Kambosos blocked the deal behind closed doors. They made it seem as if Eddie Hearn is not representing them, even though they want Eddie Hearn to send an offer, as they have made that very clear privately and publicly. Therefore, essentially, Team Kambosos killed the offer behind closed doors by enabling Eddie from doing what he has to do to come up with the financials and guarantees in order to send the contract. It appears to be that Lou DiBella wants to be the head promoter. He wants to run the show. He thinks they the A-side, so on and so forth. But the problem here, this is his first radio. He don't know how to run a show at this magnitude. See, Devin, he already gave Kambosos the A-side, even though he's not. But in order to make the fight happen, he's going out of his way, taking a pay cut, making Kambosos the A-side, even though he's not. However, if Lou DiBella wants to run the show, guess what that means? Then Lou DiBella has to send Devin Haney an offer. Since Eddie Hearn is out of the picture, Lou DiBella is running the show now. However, Lou DiBella and Team Kambosos haven't sent Devin Haney any offer till this day. So Team Kambosos killed Eddie Hearn's offer, then lied about sending Devin Haney an offer, lied about Devin Haney outpricing himself when he never asked for a number. Now you wonder, what is really going on? First they were stalling, then they killed the offer, then they were lying. I mean, what's next? Till Ryan Garcia pulled up. That's what's next. It's not a coincidence. As soon as news came out that Kambosos versus Devin Haney negotiations are dead, Ryan Garcia comes out of the mud. All of a sudden, Team Kambosos is in heavy negotiations with Ryan Garcia. We all know what time it is. If it sounds like a duck, if it moves like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, then it's a duck. I guess when Kambosos said he's a Spartan, he really meant it. He really meant he's a Spartan Hollywood actor, because he had everybody fooled like he's a real warrior, when all along he's a really good actor. I mean, forget about boxing. I mean, this man needs to be in movies. More importantly, there have been a lot of lies and false reports on Devin Haney's name by old media. So instead of debunking this, I decided to call Bill Haney himself yesterday in order to clear the airwaves on all of these false reports that were coming out. Shockingly, the lies from Lou DiBella and Chris Mannix. Here is what Bill Haney had to say. I'm here with Bill Haney, the father, the CEO, and trainer of the WBC lightweight champion, Devin Haney. Bill, I'm going to get straight with it with you. Lou DiBella mentioned you on Twitter today where he stated, quote, his side isn't paying for shit, nor has any offer been received from them. We made an offer and they turned it down. Don't buy into more bullshit, shake my head, #boxing, end of the quote. What is your response to that?
I just talked to Matchroom about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and ain't nothing on the table. Nothing has ever been sent to Matchroom from Lou DiBella for Devin Haney. Nothing at all. It's only people have put anything on the table. That's Devin Haney's team, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, for a package for George Kambosos to Lou DiBella. So Lou, stop with the cap, man. You know what I mean? You ain't put nothing on the table. You don't have nothing on the table. If you're saying that our side, I mean, the same side that represents Dev paid for the last fight that his fighter was involved in, DAZN. That's the same side. The last time that I knew of Lou DiBella having the ability to pay anything, Heck was a pup, and he's a grown dog now. Last thing I also heard from them was that Devin needed to sell some of his jewelry to maybe he should sell some of his jewelry to make something happen. I haven't received anything from Lou DiBella in regards to an offer of any kind. Lou DiBella has my number, and and we have an open line of communication. So I don't understand what he would mean by we pricing ourselves out.
Lou DiBella said, "You guys are not paying for anything. There have been no offer received from them," meaning Eddie Hearn. So let me ask you, have Eddie Hearn sent Lou DiBella an offer or presented an offer on the table for the fight to happen? Because Lou DiBella is essentially stating that after not receiving an offer, he sent you guys an offer.
Well, on the contrary, we've been in talks with the Kambosos team, both Eddie and Lou, for quite some time now, and Eddie had introduced a way in which the thing could happen. He put some money on the table for Lou, and Lou decided to go another way without negotiating back and forth, without reaching out to us. And, if he wanted to put my name in it, I've not received anything copied with Lou copied on it or not, and if he was really trying to make the fight happen, he would have reached out to us as well, if he's going to use the old I talked to Eddie trick.
Wow. So to further clarify, Eddie Hearn did present an offer on the table for Lou DiBella and Kambosos' team to look at.
Absolutely.
So when Lou DiBella said that he sent you guys an offer and you guys turned it down, are you saying Lou DiBella is flat out lying?
Well, listen, if it's an offer that they put on the table, where is it at? For what? How much? Where is it at? Come on, Lou. Stop lying. Give me a call.
Well, Devin Haney responded to Lou and he said, "Stop the cap. Who you sent the offer to?" And Lou DiBella hasn't responded.
Absolutely, and that's what I want to say, and I want to reiterate. This is why Devin, being in the position that he is, the youngest boss in the business, if it's a hiccup somewhere, Lou, give us a call and let's make this shit happen. Because we have yet to receive an offer from you, my dear friend. Come on, man, with the cap, and reach out to us and let's make this shit happen.
Chris Mannix also came out and stated, quote, "Talks for a lightweight title fight between Devin Haney and George Kambosos have stalled. Officials involved have struggled to come up with a financial package that will satisfy Haney." So essentially, Chris Mannix is stating that Devin Haney outpriced himself. What's your thoughts on his comments?
Well, I mean, that's ludicrous because, like I said, we go from putting an offer on the table with DAZN for the package of Devin Haney versus George Kambosos in Australia, and then for him to say that We have yet to see anything on the table sent over by the Kambosos team. Nothing.
So that means Chris Mannix is lying. Is that what you're saying? That Chris Mannix lied?
Capital L, capital I, capital E. Complete lie.
Well, I just want to further clarify all of the false reports that's going out there, because they saying Devin Haney outpriced himself, even though he never requested a number. He never received the number. So how can he outprice himself? He haven't.
Absolutely. No one knows the number that Devin wants, or Devin will agree to, or what Devin will settle for, or any of the sort, because there hasn't been any talks about money, financials.
Bill, in your opinion, why do you think all of a sudden these false reports are coming out of Devin Haney outpricing himself, when Devin Haney never outpriced himself in the past, so on and so forth?
Well, they have no other leg to stand on. Well, first, Devin has answered the questions in terms of vaccination. He's answered the questions in terms of travel. He's answered the questions in terms of money, bringing money to the table, right? And now the ludicrous statement as that him pricing himself out. Well, I mean, money was never discussed on how much we would accept, right? It was only the discussions of what could we do to package up something to get George Kambosos in the ring. It wasn't the opposite.
Is it a coincidence that these false reports came out as soon as Kambosos started negotiating with Ryan Garcia?
Absolutely. It's just a ploy to duck Devin, and then to pick a opponent that you feel brings lesser resistance, right? In the terms of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has suffered a lot within the last year. He didn't fight. He hasn't fought for a year, right? And then to consider him as an opponent with a broken hand, broken spirit or ego, or mentally broken, and not to say that Ryan shouldn't be deserving of a second chance, but by the time that you're the interim and you're stripped from the interim status, there's no way that you should be able to come back and then fight for unification. It's ludicrous.
Well, it ain't no secret. Ryan is battling mental problems right now, so you would think Kambosos would rather fight Devin Haney for Undisputed than pick on Ryan.
It's just being a man of your word, just being, him being a man of his word. And what he said was, when talking to Dev before the Teofimo Lopez fight, that it would be them next. I mean, now he's went from all kind of different opponents, right? He's choosing. It's Tank, it's Loma, it's Devin, it's Ryan. A shame. I expected more out of George Kambosos, but I mean, Devin is an exceptional talent.
Are we dealing with Teofimo Lopez 2.0 Part 2, whatever you want to call it? I mean, Teofimo said Devin is going to outprice himself. Meanwhile, he asked for $10 million. And now it seems like George Kambosos and his team are doing the same, trying to manipulate the public to believe in a complete lie.
Hey, listen, a capital L, capital I, capital E lie. And the sense of Lou DiBella has an opportunity to make a wrong, to make a wrong right, and reach out to me and make it happen. And also you also can put it on the table for Eddie to send it over. But when you put Devin Haney's name and you say that he outpriced himself, and I didn't see nothing, well, my email is billhaney@gmail.com.
Well, thank you, Bill. Anything else you want to say to the fans?
Oh, absolutely. Continue to everyone. We appreciate you on both sides of the fence. Continue, everyone. To pushing this great sport of boxing forward. I really look to hear what Lou DiBella has to say. Right? because he's publicly saying that, and he's publicly saying something about negotiating in the media and stuff like that. Well, Lou, you got my number. You know what I'm saying? You got my number. And you know we bosses over here, so don't deny that. Don't stand in the way of Undisputed because you're in your feelings or because you have an ego, right? The people want to see Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Put something on the table if that's what you're going to do.
Well, thank you for your time, Bill. With the facts being laid out, after Lou DiBella lied on Twitter, all of a sudden, Ryan Garcia and Kambosos went back and forth, where the deal on the table is they both gonna have a tune-up bout, then fight later this year. But remember, Kambosos told my reporter that he is not gonna have a tune-up bout. He wants to fight the best straight away. Forget about what Lou DiBella says, my promoter. I'm the boss here. That's what Kambosos said. However, now all of a sudden, he retracting every single promise to fight Devin Haney, not having a tune-up bout, so on and so forth. Therefore, Kambosos can fight Ryan. There's no problem with that. But instead of waiting or having a tune-up bout, fight Devin Haney for Undisputed, for all of the money, legacy, and history in the world. Then, if he's really the emperor like he says, fight Ryan Garcia later this year after beating Devin Haney in May earlier this year. That way, the Ryan Garcia fight will actually mean something. Keep in mind, that's only if the 99% probability Ryan Garcia doesn't pull out on George Kambosos the exact way he did to his 8 or 9 previous opponents he was supposed to have, which will elevate Kambosos to pound-for-pound duck status. Last but not least, you notice how when Ryan and Kambosos are going back and forth, all of a sudden, you don't hear Kambosos tell Ryan, you need to come to Australia, you're an email or Instagram champion, sell your followers in order to pay me, so on and so forth. All of a sudden, he's ready to fight Ryan. Now he's living up to Devin Haney, quote, they say everything but let's fight. He's telling Ryan, don't pull out. Keep the same energy. Don't flip. But we all peep how Kambosos' energy flip-flops whenever it's Devin Haney. Apparently, Kambosos is better doing the Tio front than Teofimo Lopez himself. Therefore, we shall see if we are going to witness one of the biggest ducks in boxing for Undisputed. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.